the effects of this pandemic are not just going to be physical effects with people getting sick. And one of the things that we're realizing is that it is affecting the mental health and raising stress levels and causing anxiety and depression, because it's really separated us and made us have to isolate more. And that affects us. But the people that it seems to affect the most are teenagers. Teenagers are in that time of their lives where they're developing and they're trying to develop what their worldview is and what they believe in and what they think is true, and they're developing an identity as well. And many of our teens and kids, because of remote learning and having to be isolated for the past year, they're in that developmental point, and that could cause major issues. Counselors are starting to say and starting to realize that this probably isn't just going to go away when they go back to school and get to be around people, that this may have a major effect on their lives. One of the stats that I recently heard that really bothers me is that emergency room visits for teenagers, those between 12 and 17 years old, have gone up 30% for anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation. And that has been just since the pandemic. So one of the things that we have felt that it would be important to do is to bring in people with expertise on this area, people that maybe have struggled with these same things, or to bring in a counselor, or to bring in people that have struggled with other things such as self-esteem and bullying and broken families and addictions, anxiety, depression. And we don't want to speak into the lives of just teenagers, we want to speak into the parents too, because some of the things that we're seeing in our community are things that have never been dealt with before, and things that we've never seen. We haven't had a pandemic in our lifetime that has affected us in this way, to know what to do after that, to be able to recognize the signs of what's happening. We have one guy named Dr. Peter Newhouse. He'll be coming to share specifically with parents about what's going on in counseling, that they are seeing record numbers of teenagers coming and asking for help on these areas of anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and that he's seeing those things. And one of the things that I believe that he can bring to our group is that that he knows what the signs are, what the things that parents should look for to say, hey, my kids are struggling. But then he's also somebody that can help us realize where to get help. We have a guy named Nathan Harmon that will be coming to speak to everyone. And his story is such an amazing story of how he overcame his circumstances to become who he believed that he should be. And maybe he didn't always believe that, but things happened in his life that helped him realize that his circumstances today do not affect how he will turn out later. We have a guy coming in who is a professional beatboxer, professional skateboarder, and a pastor, and he will be sharing his story of how he was struggling with being bullied and self-esteem, and how he overcame that, and how it's important to be proactive and to go after things before they become major problems. And for our teens, these are the next leaders of our community. And if they're going in to become leaders of our community, but they're taking all these things like anxiety and depression, and some even struggling with suicidal thoughts, that's going to affect them, and it's going to affect our community. And so we believe that it's really important that we do something about it.